Welcome everybody to some Thursday night LOS Champs action. Alligator Source here to host, running it solo tonight. Do got cookies in the ear running production, but should be a good one. We got a bunch of matches up ahead, a 2v2, a 3v3, and a 2v2. The first one, that first twos match, No Toxicity versus LatinSeven creators. Players are in the lobby, they're ready to go. I'm excited to see how this matchup goes. They're players that I've personally known for quite some time, so it'll be exciting to see them hit the pitch. We don't want to wait too terribly long before we go into it. So on the side of LatinSeven creators, we're going to have Tom, Ozzy, and Cake, both folks who have been around for some time in one sense or the other in the scene. And over on No Toxicity, Z-Boost and JMG. Again, rocking that 2v2 tier 7. So getting into that rank of players where they're starting to put a lot of the pieces together. The mechanics are starting to shine, rotations cleaning up a little bit as they go through, and we'll see which duo is going to be the one to put together the complete package first. We'll see who's going to do it quicker. Best of 5 series, so 3 games will lead to victory. And in the first 30, looking like players are just kind of getting the feel of it. Z-Boost had an opportunity, but might be able to get the follow-up, and does. So Z-Boost striking first for No Toxicity Gaming, rocking that red for the match tonight. The quick start for No Toxicity, getting that goal about 30 seconds in, so we'll try to keep it going, but LatinSeven creators getting a little bit of a taste up on offense. They're going to have to bake a little bit more than that if the Cake is going to pop off on offense, and Tom, Ozzy back on defense. We'll rotate back over to the right side, and Zed playing it to the corner. No Toxicity Gaming, they look like they're trying to go a little bit more piecemeal up on the offensive end, holding on to possession, trying to keep it away from their opponents. Generally a smart thing to do, especially in twos. You don't have as many opportunities since you don't have that third man back behind you. Early on, No Toxicity Gaming have taken advantage of it, but of course only a minute and change into game number 1. And both these teams looking to get a strong win here tonight. Get all of that momentum rolling through here in season 2 of LOS Champs. But Tom, Ozzy had a bit of an opportunity, couldn't quite make contact, so quick return back into defense for the LatinSeven creators. JMG trying to get some physicality going on deep in the offensive zone. Won't be able to find a player, but finds the ball deep up in the back corner wall. It'll find Tom, Ozzy on the back rotation as well, but Cake trying to scoop it up, trying to find a little bit, and trying to get it past that midfield play of No Toxicity. They've generally done well with that quick turn back, giving up a shot or two, giving up a touch, but No Toxicity getting it back over into the LatinSeven half quickly afterwards. And No Toxicity as well, getting a lot of demos, interrupting what the LatinSeven creators have been doing. We'll see again if LatinSeven can find their way through and get their first goal of the series, half of the game down. They'll battle around on that midfield. Cake will elect to leave that one over for Tom, Ozzy. So he'll take that all on the side wall. Cake again up to it quickly. Might have a play here, bouncing out of the corner. Up quick, JMG putting it down low. Tom, Ozzy there to play cleanup. Might have the touch here. This one's going to be on target. JMG clears out, saves Cake. Can't quite get up to it in time. Now JMG will go collect some boost. He has the dribble set up, but Tom, Ozzy has enough time to get back and get that save. LatinSeven creators, they're going to have to start moving this downfield and holding on to that possession a little bit longer and getting to some of the touches, but a lot of power behind it, and quick challenges by No Toxicity. It's making it difficult. Tom, Ozzy sending it in from midfield, but Z-Boost will use his boost to put it onto the back wall. Tom, Ozzy with the placement, JMG with the save to keep the 1-0 with 90 seconds left in game 1. Cake try to take another angle at it. Boost does not spawn, so he has to rotate back. Tom, Ozzy just trying to slow down, but Z-Boost has got cooking. Cake up early again, likes to play high, likes to take to the air. We have seen No Toxicity keeping it low and getting a lot of demos. Again, I like the physicality that they're going for to disrupt their opponents. Tom Ozzy again is going to send this down from deep. Cake wants the redirect close. Does not quite have it. Tom Ozzy challenging to slow down JMG's immediate shot. Zed boost, bouncing it off that back wall, looking to get it back, but JMG over in the midfield. Tom Ozzy looking to bring it back over into that red half to keep challenging JMG as well. LatinSeven creators running out of time in game 1. Still only a 1-goal game, but that first goal has proven to be difficult to come by. As well, no Toxicity Gaming scoring within the first 30 seconds and not since. Cake is going to take to the ground though, and while he had tried to take it from the sky earlier throughout the game, taking it low and slow is all he needs to get it past. It gets bumped by JMG, but not enough. All tied up, 17 seconds left on the clock. LatinSeven creators find themselves on the scoreboard. Will we see a quick answer from No Toxicity? We'll put it deep. Tom Ozzy saves, gets the following challenge as well. 5 seconds left. Zed boost back. It allows JMG to go for that quick challenge. This time hits 0. Zed boost will kill it. So overtime in game number 1. We'll look to try to keep that momentum going. Again, the early goal in regulation from No Toxicity, an early goal in overtime as well. And JMG will be the one to put it home 8 seconds in. They will take game number 1 by 2-1 margin after staving off that comeback from LatinSeven creators. See how LatinSeven bounces back in game number 2. A lot of shots again coming in from No Toxicity, 7 compared to the 5 of LatinSeven. And looking to see how it cleans up. Like I said, it's 2s. Once we start seeing some of those, the team plays, the connections coming in between each other, that's a lot of the keys to victory, especially when you're playing around this ranks. I've seen it in flashes coming out from these 4 players. We'll look to see it clean up a little bit more, get a little bit more specific on their touches, a little bit more deliberate, and I think that's a clearer path to victory for both of these squads. But No Toxicity also figured out the win in game 1, so they'll try to take it in game 2 to put themselves on series point early. LatinSeven creators, the guys that they've played a lot of Rocket League, they've seen a lot of things, so they're going to have to step it up here in game 2 as well. They did bring it to overtime, but they'll have to try to take in regulation here. Just the way No Toxicity are playing, I think it's really going to have to be a regulation victories for LatinSeven going forward. So we'll see how everything works out as they head off into game number 2. We'll get ready here for this match. Again, just kind of cleaning it up on the touches. The players in the right place a lot of the time. It's just getting that last little bit, that last touch, and keeping it within possession and not giving it away too quickly. That'll be the key to victory for the LatinSeven creators. But No Toxicity, just keep it going, keep that pressure. If you can keep your opponents on the back foot, that is going to be big for your chances here tonight. So, 0. 10 seconds in, Zed boost. We'll put it onto the back wall. Trying to get that strike early again. They scored 25-30 seconds into game 1. They're held off at least for now, but Zed boost shot escorted away by Cake. Cake will get this up midfield. Try to get it over to Tom. Low boost. Again, I like the team play attempt. Cake trying to get the leak out pass over to his teammate. They'll just have to work their way out of defense and hold onto the ball, not rushing their shots. For a lot of game number 1, we did not see No Toxicity too terribly pressured on the defensive half, so it's a little hard to gauge how they would do if they were to come under such pressure. That just speaks to what they've been doing, though, cutting it off in the midfield so well, taking possession away from LatinSeven when they're able to. And even if the shot's not directly on target, it's forcing LatinSeven to be reactive rather than proactive. And you know what? Take that out of the script, because proactive is exactly what we see. Tom Ozzy with the leak out pass over to Cake. They've been going for it and trying to get it set it up, but they do finally connect on it. So LatinSeven will strike first. No Toxicity Gaming, they're going to be the ones to have to answer back. It will quickly go into offense. It might be able to go a slow play by JMG. Zed Boost, a choice to make. And he will choose to take the 50 to the corner. JMG centering, looking to go for a little bit of a doozy. Tom Ozzy cutting it off, and possession back over to Jay. Cake lying in his wake, trying to get something going here, but are able to turn it around for now. Tom Ozzy continuing to send it back down, gets it over to Cake. The redirects really starting to come into play for LatinSeven creators. Very likely the thing that is going to make them more confident as it goes. You hit a redirect like that, I don't care what rank you're in, you're always going to feel good after it. You just got to keep playing and keep that momentum going. No Toxicity, they are not giving up by any means, continuing to push up on offense. Back on defense now. Cake pops it up past JMG. Looking to wrap it through the corner. Zed Boost, far post. Coming out for the challenge, but pass over mid to Tom Ozzy. Denied by JMG. Throwing the Octane sideways and positioning right between the ball and the net. So keeps it a 1-0 difference. Or a 0-1 their case, but might be turning it to a 1-1 very quick. Cake getting the save. JMG over the top of Ozzy, but he can't quite get the angle. Tom Ozzy looking to get that back up over to Cake. Cake says, no, I'm going to go for a bump. We will pull off back over to that midfield. JMG looking to flip it back around. No Toxicity. Going to double up on that shot attempt, but it does force a bit of a slowdown on the follow-up, and Cake is just going to send it in from deep. Both players for No Toxicity upfield, and Cake just sending it down after the shot. We've not seen No Toxicity double commit much throughout the game and a half we've seen so far. A rare rotational hiccup. Now we'll see how they respond. They are back in their own half again, but Cake is going to make it a short one. A hat trick for Cake 19. R2D2 screaming into the distance, wondering what's happening. They couldn't score in game number 1, only getting 1 goal in regulation and overtime. Now 3 in a little over 3 minutes. Really switching it up here. But on the flip side, No Toxicity Gaming still bringing it downfield. Tom with the back pass over to Cake. This is going to be awkward for the defenders. Tom is going to get the clear out, but JMG keeping it in a threatening position, forcing the defense to stay on their toes lest they react too early, give away the game, leave the chicken coop unguarded for the Wolves to come in and strike. They may get it there courtesy of the demo. JMG is going to collect the roll up, and No Toxicity Gaming find themselves onto the board. It took a little bit longer in game 2 than it did in game 1, but goals are goals. It's easier to come back from 2 goals than it is from 3. They're going to look to try to get those 2. They got 72 seconds to do it after the wraparound rope-a-dope from the corner. Not quite the top rope, but still finding ways to score in Zed Boost. Kind of low and slow. It worked for Cake earlier. It might ultimately end up working out. It does battle around in front of the post. We'll take another look at that one. I really thought Zed Boost might have been able to get the backflip on it. You know he wanted it, but flips over to the right, but still JMG is scooping it up, and hey, goals are goals, and we have seen 5 through 4 minutes, so 1 minute left. Suddenly, No Toxicity Gaming really turning this into a game here in game 2. The LatinSeven creator is going to have to keep this out. Try to limit the number of shots on net. Tom Ozzy, with just the skin, the surface coating of paint, puts it up onto the back wall. And Cake is going to get the next save as well, but No Toxicity. They're not toxic, but they are pounding, they're hunting, they're pushing, they're equalizing. The pass from JMG to Zed Boost. They're pounding on the door. They finally forced their way in off the challenge. And with 31 seconds left, back to a tied game. We saw a late equalizer in game 1, something very similar here in game 2. LatinSeven will look to clutch this one up, a fortuitous kickoff. Cake will retreat back for Boost. JMG with an awkward bounce. They will wait for it, goes for the half volley. It gets over Tom Ozzy as well, getting to the final couple of seconds. JMG sees Zed Boost coming up. It's going to be an own goal on the challenge. Coming out in front of the net, JMG is going to get a hat trick, but he stole the hat off the rack. And it is going to lead to a late lead. With only 14 seconds left. Cake will take it to the side wall. We'll see if he can get it work from the air. He is comfortable with the air, comfortable with the ceiling. Maybe. Said he wanted the top rope earlier, and it's going to bounce over mid. Cake JMG is going to challenge and get the clear out. So regulation 4-3, continuing to be 1-goal games. No Toxicity taking the win in regulation of game number 2. We'll take just a quick double check here, make sure everything is good with the players. So we are going to make a new lobby. Just double check. There's a little bit of inconsistency with the ping, so we will see if that goes. If players want a new lobby, we're going to see likely a sub coming in from LatinSeven. We'll see what kind of combination works out here heading into game number 3, but it is leading to be a very close match. I mean, 2-0, it's difficult to say that No Toxicity are running with it. They're doing well. Like, don't get me wrong. They aren't getting panicked, which is pretty solid. Like, that is cannot be overstated, is staying level-headed, not panicking when you're getting into those situations. So when you're getting down early as well, I mean, big comebacks happen, and coming back from 3-0, still solid to do so, getting those 4 goals on late, but we'll see if the combination of sub and a new lobby works out for LatinSeven creators, because, again, playing generally well. I liked the mix-up that they went for in game number 2. They're starting to go for the passing plays. The outlet pass from Tom Ozzy over to Cake on that redirect to open up scoring. Gotta feel really good for this duo as they go through in the series, and just finding those other ways to win, finding ways to get the goals, and not panicking too much on the goal line. It's gonna be big. I see you on the hydrate. Got you going. As I immediately spill water. So we got the new lobby up. I did spill water. It's a topographic jersey now. Cookies are laughing at me. But we'll see how this goes with the new lobby and how it goes in. So we'll need to see a reverse sweep coming out from LatinSeven creators. But what things have happened? And they have been so close. Again, just 1-goal games throughout both games that we've seen so far. It could be the mix of venue, the mix-up of lobby, and maybe rotating in. No, it does look like they're going to go with the starting roster. We do see both Cake and Tom Ozzy back in, so we'll see if that works out for them. So it is a tier 7 matchup, Ruber. Just give you that information. But we'll see how well it works out in game number 3. Again, best of 5s and No Toxicity on the precipice of taking the series in a sweep. The new lobby will mix it up. We do see a quick return to form for LatinSeven as they push it in and try to get the goals coming in on here. So for the rank, we are looking at about between 1100 and 1200 roughly for MMR in tier 7. Could not remember. It could be potentially updated. Prod's in my ear right now. It could be wrong, but so we will get the command updated in the stream, so you'll be able to hear it or be able to look it up. So, but anywho, there's always potential to pop off at any time, as we have seen throughout this series so far. We're going to need to see some sustained popping from LatinSeven creators. I don't know if they need to get like a roll of bubble wrap to start getting as many pops as possible. They got to start figuring out a way to slow down No Toxicity. They've just been cool, calm, and collected. They've been consistent. And a lot of times that's what wins games as you go through the Rocket League career. For the first minute and change, we do still find ourselves 0-0. JMG from that back wall. Possession being traded. Cake looking for the pass coming throughout the corner, but Zed Boost had no boost. Still able to get the favorable challenge. Send it back down over to the LatinSeven half. JMG looking for the center. Zed should have something here, but could not quite get up in time. And so, will be back the other way, but no, JMG knocking it downfield. He might have this one, sneaks it in. It looked like it was going to be high from the initial angle, but no, has enough arc on it. JMG leaps from his own half of the field and arcs that one in over the defender. No Toxicity Gaming. They struck first in game 1. They'd get a comeback in game 2, but on the board early so far in game number 3. They're going to look to continue this as well. Zboost trying to get a pass over to JMG. Cake looking to make the play from the side. Can't quite get it. If you've heard me cast before, you know that is one of the save attempts that I point out quite often. It is much more difficult than it looks to get the play from that side of the net of the back wall, just driving off. So we do see the 2-0 lead for No Toxicity. But we did see a 3-goal comeback in game 2. Plenty of game left in game 3. Tom, Ozzy, and Cake are going to look to make something happen with this trip up on offense. Cake challenging JMG. Zboost over to the mid. Tom Ozzy is going to be there. Might be able to get a follow-up play off the back wall. Challenging early is JMG. As we near halftime, still 2-0 in the series, 2-0 in the game in favor of No Toxicity. Tom Ozzy will have another crack at this one, looking to play onto the back wall. And he's just gonna follow it up solo. Tom Ozzy getting on the board and getting LatinSeven creators on the board as well. You just know Cake was up for it. He likes it, and I do, in fact, believe the defenders expected the aerial shot coming in from Cake as well, but Tom Ozzy remaining committed to the play, bringing us back to 1, but the kickoff in favor of No Toxicity. JMG is gonna bar down and stay deep in the LatinSeven half. As both players will look to escort this ball out of harm. It is gonna be a bit awkward as the pinch is up high. This one is gonna be right on target as well. Zboost gets back. Pinch is just chaotic. Tom Ozzy has scored from the left once. He scores from the left twice. And LatinSeven creators tie it up. We find ourselves tied again, less than 2 minutes. Tom Ozzy again coming up from that left side, making the play from that back wall. So with 1:54 left on the clock, we'll find who wins here in game number 3. The peaks of LatinSeven have been higher. The general baseline consistency of No Toxicity has been the better, but we'll find out if peaking late is going to continue this series on. So we hit the 90-second mark. It could be an awkward, not awful, my apologies, awkward touch. Zboost trying to get the clear. This is going to be awkward again. K couldn't quite get to it. JMG taking the lead back with 1:19 left. No Toxicity Gaming again, remaining calm. Continuing to play their game, play their style. At 79 seconds away from picking up the win in a sweep. Less LatinSeven creators have anything to say about it, and you gotta imagine, as a creator, generally have a lot to say. They got a minute to make their impact with it known. They are back in their half, however. Zboost holding on to possession of the corner. The bounce is not going to be in his favor. Tom Ozzy scored twice from the left. The right does not work out as well, but Cake challenging, sending it back into the offensive half. Tom up to challenge as well, but JMG almost getting it on target after that challenge past Cake. It is going to force LatinSeven to regain. Tom Ozzy is going to have to respond as well. Cake over to the mid. This very well may be it. Tom Ozzy is going to get the dunk on top, but it's going to bounce off. Tom Ozzy still getting the follow-up towards the net. The JMG flying in. And Tom Ozzy, back wall. You've seen him once, you've seen it twice. Zboost does not want to see it thrice. He knows it works there. Cake. Keep it over in that half. Final few seconds. Tom Ozzy playing it around the corner. JMG just needs to get a clear out. And Tom Ozzy is going to go bring it back mid. Keiko's coming up the side. No Toxicity are going to win the series in a sweep. All 1-goal games. To be said, that is not something that can be overlooked, to be totally honest. These were very close games, but no Toxicity still are coming away with the win. GG's. And I do think this will be a good series to go back, take a look at the replays, see what's going on in the matches. There's a lot to like from both of these teams. Again, really want to highlight that outlet passing play from LatinSeven. One of the plays that players go for quite a bit, especially when you get higher ranked. You get that leak out, you send somebody out. It happens a lot in 3s, maybe not as much in 2s, but still a good redirect pass and no Toxicity. Again, playing consistently, playing calmly, and not getting too rattled as the series the series had gone on, which is always good when you get into a competitive environment. So I think this will be a solid one again to check the replays. So again, GG's. Congrats on the win. No Toxicity Gaming was a pretty good matchup overall. We do have Zed Boost in the call for brief interview here. Zed, congrats on the win.
Hey guys, thanks very much. Thanks for the congratulations.
Again, congrats on it as well. I mean, pulling off a series in a sweep as well, but gotta kind of take a highlight there. All of these were close games, as we saw. 1-goal games throughout, overtime in game 1, but a big comeback in game number 2. So you're playing, obviously playing 2v2s. There's only 2 of you in a call, ostensibly. What do the comms sound like? You go down 3-0, and then you've 4 unanswered to win. Like, what are you guys saying to each other when you find yourselves at that 3-goal hole?
When you find yourself down that way, you don't really try and change things up too much. The way we had won the first one, and we were a little surprised that Cake came out so strong. The first game we didn't see that from him, but he really popped off in game 2. So we just kind of settle yourself. You try and just focus on each of you playing your roles, each of you doing your things, not trying to do too much. It's also nice when you have a one game lead, because you can at least say to yourself, all right, even if this one, we kind of threw this one, at least it'll just be tied. We won't be on 2-0.
Yeah, there's a little bit more comfortability with that, to be sure. One thing I noticed as well as the games had gone through, I really wanted to shout out and highlight your rotations on the way back. Really good at picking up demos. You're not going too terribly out of your way to find it, but still finding them and throwing a wrench into the opponent. Is that something that you guys have talked about? Is it something that's just kind of come about in terms of you've just been playing and it's something you started doing, or is that something you talk about at all?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily something we talk about like as a strategy. I certainly am guilty of watching probably more than a few Rocket League videos and some strategy videos online, and you just see how much that's in the meta, obviously in RLCS, but to say that we play the same game is really, really kind of a silly thing to say. But you see how effective it can be, especially in 2s, where if you can pick up a demo on the way back through, it lets your partner either turn quicker and then have a 1v1, or it just, as you said, just disrupts the whole flow for them. So thanks for noticing. I certainly try. I think I could probably do better at it, but it is certainly something that I try to keep somewhere in the mind of the other 15 other things I'm trying to think about in a game.
I do like picking it up. I myself enjoy demos quite a bit, and I mean, I have a V1 poster on the wall behind me. It's not caught on camera right now, but
Yep.
But no, it's always a good time. But no, congrats on the win, you guys. The floor is yours for the last little bit here. Anybody you want to shout out? Anything you want to say? Go ahead.
I want to shout out, honestly, you guys for starting up and maintaining this league. My son and I, actually, my son is we're a family team, and we played IGL for a bunch of years, and we're bummed when that went down, and kind of despaired that there weren't going to be any kind of leagues around. But then you guys started this up, and it's really been a lot of fun. We love playing in it, and we've loved being. I think this is our second stream we've been on. It's a lot of fun. Always kind of amps up the game a little bit for you. It's always fun to watch it later. So I just wanted to thank you guys.
Very, very much appreciated. And I do feel the vibes of the family thing. I played with my brother for years as well, so it's not quite the father-son bond, but I get the family connection. But again, congrats. Thanks for the kind words as well. And go enjoy the rest of the evening after picking up a solid win.
Thanks so much.
Alrighty, folks. So Taking a look at the schedule, the next match will be a 3v3 Tier 5 matchup, Oahu Mad Lads versus Bozos. That one's coming up in about 30 minutes, so we got a little bit of time. We're going to throw to a break, go get some water, get some hydrate. I'm already halfway through my water bottle, so I got to go take care of that. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more LOS Champs action in a little bit. I'm excited to see how the rest of the night pans out.